So today, in the media day availability, Indiana Fever's guard Caitlin Clark came out and made a bold statement, and she's claiming herself to be the best transitional player in the WNBA. But is she really? You're now tuned into a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K. Sapp. Well, we got to talk about the bold statement that Caitlin Clark just released in her media day availability when she was talking to the media when they was asking her questions surrounding around last year, her injury, and how she feels that she can play off the ball and how she feels in transition. And she made a bold statement. But we're going to talk about it right after this. Well, guys, did Caitlin Clark finally stand up for herself and actually say some things that she's always been wanting to say? Well, she basically today came out and said that she was the best transitional player in the WNBA. Now, let's look at it like this. The Caitlin Clark junkies have always complained about, hey, give the ball to Caitlin Clark. Get out of Caitlin's way and let her do everything. But Caitlin Clark said more than just she is the best transitional player in the WNBA. She also said that she can play off the ball. And that's a lot of problems that the Caitlin Clark junkies have, because when they selected Raven Johnson as the number 10 pick in the WNBA draft, a lot of these Caitlin Clark junkies, they started crying. What is the organization doing? Is Stephanie White in that organization trying to sabotage Caitlin Clark? Why would they draft another point guard when you already have your point guard? And then, they crashing out talking about she needs the ball in her hand at all times. But Caitlin Clark will beg to differ. She basically said, it is very exhausting having the ball in your hand all the time and being guarded 94 feet and trying to get the ball up the court. So she vows to play off the ball more than what she did. So Caitlin Clark is basically telling y'all Caitlin Clark junkies, I can play off the ball. Stop whining about me always having the ball. She said whatever the team needs, she will be able to provide. And that's positivity. As far as her transitional game, I've always said Caitlin Clark is an exceptional passer when she's dropping passes in transition when they're playing up tempo. And I've always said I'd like to see her play off the ball a little bit more, because a lot of people started crying when Caitlin Clark was playing off the ball, and these Caitlin Clark junkies would say, oh, well, they feeding her out. Once she gets off the ball, she's not getting the ball back. Get the ball to Caitlin and get out the way. It's not about Caitlin Clark all the time. It's about the team concept. And Stephanie White is a very exceptional coach, and she knows how to coach. She went on a deep playoff run last year with Caitlin Clark sitting on the bench. And as Caitlin Clark sat on the bench, recovering from her injury, she saw ways that she can fit in leading up to this year. So she don't mind playing off the ball. And she would tell you herself, it's very exhausting having that ball the whole game and being guarded 94 feet. So she says she wants some relief. She wants people like Raven Johnson to handle the ball. So that's a shout out to Caitlin Clark for letting her Caitlin Clark junkies know that I can play off the ball. But let's take a listen to what Caitlin Clark had to say. Just sit back. It is very interesting what she said at the media day availability. And you guys let me know what y'all think about what she said. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, I think a little bit of off the ball stuff. I think mostly on dead balls. I think I'm the best transition player in the league. That's where I thrive. Everybody knows that's my game. So, getting the ball off of rebound or in transition, that's probably when I'm going to be the primary ball handler more than anything. And then, getting off the ball a little bit and catching your breath. Like, it is exhausting bringing the ball up 94 feet versus pressure
I heard what she said.
every single time. So we certainly need to find somebody that can handle the ball a little bit and, give me a little bit of a break. And I think Raven and Ty and even other people through camp, Tori's done a great job. And, Kels does it a little bit. And even I think our 4s and 5s can do that. You saw AB do that a lot last year when we were really in trouble injury-wise. So I think there's a lot of different things that can give us a lot of different looks and just makes us harder to guard more than anything.
Caitlin, back here.
Hello.
When you look around, you see all the cameras, the microphones, the sellout crowds, how much gratitude do you have for just being in this space right now?
Yeah. I mean, a lot. I'm just so thankful, and I think that was a great thing for me to realize, especially when I was hurt. And I wouldn't say that was something I worried about, but obviously people love you for the product you put on the floor, and hopefully they love you for the person that you are too, and the way you continue to show up, and the way you're a teammate, and the way you're a leader, and the way you love the fans. And so when I was hurt, I felt like that was something that was really humbling for me, and something that I was super, super grateful for is, when I showed up to a game and I took as much time as I could to sign an autograph. That might be the only bad thing about this year is I'm not going to have as much time to sign autographs when I'm preparing to actually play a game. So I'll still do my best that I can every single time we play. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to make all the rounds around the arena. But I think that was the thing is all these young kids and these young boys, young girls, and even older fans as well. They're still showing up and screaming and cheering, and that's one because, obviously they love this team and they love all the players on this team, but two, they don't really care how many points I score. They just, hopefully they love me as a person and obviously love me as a player, and even if I'm not out there being able to throw crazy passes or hit a long shot, they can still find a lot of joy in showing up and, getting to see somebody they idolize, and that can give them a little bit of hope. So I think that was probably the best thing for me is a realization of, it's not all about the way you perform every single day. And, there's going to be some tough games this year. It's, unrealistic to expect myself to perform for 44 games. There's going to be some games where you just don't make shots, and just reminding myself of that.
Wrap up with Chris.
Okay.
Dumb questions, that's all I do.
Okay.
You're so good in the commercials.
Yeah.
Granted, you're playing the part of yourself mostly.
Yeah.
Have you had acting lessons and acting? What's your process?
I have not had acting lessons, but I think I've definitely gotten more comfortable. Obviously, I've done a few of them now. And the directors and, obviously a lot of these brands that I work with, I've been with for quite some time now, 2 to 3 to 4 years. So they make it pretty easy on me. I've shot a lot of stuff over the course of this offseason, so I got some cool stuff coming. I think you guys will like it, but I think especially when the commercials and the spots or whatever we're making is tailored to my personality, I think that's what makes it fun and people like it. But I love hearing when fans come up to me and they're like, we like this, we like that, and it makes it fun too. My favorite.
Now you heard what Caitlin Clark had to say. Now basically, if you paid attention, she's basically telling all her Caitlin Clark junkies that this is a team game. This is not about one individual. She mentioned a lot of individuals in that whole media day availability that she spoke on. She said she needs relief off the ball. And that's what it's good to have people like Raven Johnson and Ty. So she's giving a shout out to Raven Johnson. So stop trying to put Raven Johnson and Caitlin Clark against each other, because they're going to need each other in this upcoming WNBA season, because Caitlin Clark just told you guys that she can play off the ball and she needs some relief. She don't need the ball in her hand all the time to dominate. She just basically made a bold statement talking about she is the best transitional player in the WNBA. I mean, you can agree with that or you can disagree with that. That's your own opinion. But at the same time, she's just letting you Caitlin Clark junkies know, stop crying about the decisions that Stephanie White is making and all what the front office is making, bringing these players in, signing these point guards. So basically, the signing of these point guards, Caitlin Clark had to sign off on it, because basically she just told you guys that she needs some relief. She don't want to handle the ball all the time. So playing Caitlin Clark without the ball is not a big deal. She has to learn to play without the ball. And if you look at last year, how it went down the stretch without Caitlin Clark in the game, being sidelined because of injury, the Indiana Fever was a better, well-oiled machine because they was playing team ball. It wasn't just focused on, oh, Caitlin, get the ball to Caitlin, get out the way. So this team with Indiana, the mix-up of the players that they have, the Kelsey Mitchells, the Leah Bostons of the world, and all the additions that they made, the Raven Johnsons, the Caitlin Clark, this is going to be a pretty good team. This is going to be an exciting team. And also she said that, she likes to play up tempo, but she needs some relief so she can play without the ball. So all you Caitlin Clark junkies, man, get down in the comments section and let me know what y'all feel about today's video on what Caitlin Clark said. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.